this cave one, this cave layout, I go down the wrong path so many. Probably. I know that was the thing, like I said, when I played that build, that's one of the key things. Oh, you gotta play like the rest of us. Nah, just get some more area damage, you'll be alright.
Come on, you fucking packs, let's go. Maybe I can run these guys over.
Oh boy, the Asmongold Ian Hasakosis interview is about to happen.
Nice.
I still think it's a bit wild as fuck. The entire time Asmongold's played, he's been like the top Twitch streamer. They've never once given him an interview. They actually made him during like some of the BlizzCons. Like he got in trouble at him. Like they wouldn't let him speak to certain people at the BlizzCons.
Really?
Yeah. And then like of course some didn't want to talk to him because they didn't like him. Because he would just, like I said, openly call bullshit on Twitter. Like he would tweet at the developers. And then I think he stopped getting invites too.
Someone's gotta do it.
I must wait longer. I'm injured. Power revolves up the room.
You know there's porn streams out there on Twitch? Somehow they just like slip through. Yeah, like people like having sex and shit.
I did not know that.
Like chatterbait basically, but on Twitch.
Wow.
And I think it's so wild that so many young people do that. Like get on chatterbait and do that. Like, damn.
Ballsy.
There's a girl I know that I went to college with when we lived in Idaho. She's like since gotten out of the military. Like we're friends on Facebook, and she was trying to go to college and do some other stuff, and then didn't like it. And I saw that she had a Twitter, so I looked at her Twitter, and then her Twitter had like links to her OnlyFans page and shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
Pretty ballsy.
Oh my god. Well, one of our friends married a cam girl. Straight up trailer. She's trailer trash. That's how she made her money. He's like, yeah, it's pretty nice. She's always horny. And I'm like, ugh. Looks like she looked like trailer trash. Sounded like it too.
That's all that some people care about, though.
Like, he hadn't even been dead a year yet, and she was already pregnant by some dude.
Fuck yeah.
She took his money that he got from dying, like his life insurance through the military, and she'll get like a check every month too from the military for the rest of her life because he died.
Yeah.
And she went and bought a house, and then she was pregnant by some other dude. Everybody's like, wow. Like, had we been closer friends at the time they got married, I probably would have told him not to do that. We became really good friends after he'd been married for like 6 months. It's like, I would have told you to do that. All the women out there. That's a common thing though, like a chick will find out that the dude's in the military and she'll marry him.
Yeah.
Like the marriages never last, but that's like a real common thing that happens.
Happens a lot out here.
Oh yeah, you got a military base there, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah. Forget the name of it, but yeah, I know that's in San Diego.
We have a lot. We got fucking Navy, military.
Oh yeah, you got Marines, Air Force, you got everything.
Yep.
California's got the most bases on the West Coast. All up and down the coast. Audrey went to tech school and basic training all in California. Yeah, I see that like special riff so much now. The fuzzies, the
Or
shit in the air.
No, I would also say or extreme up there.
Oh yeah, or extreme, yeah.
I never
It says. Seen it like 7 times. That's how I was able to push the other day. I bet you people are just fishing for those.
pack.
Patience. Wounds are deep. Not ready yet. Patience. Must heal. Akkhan favors me. Not ready yet. I grow weak. Not yet.
It was so funny, dude, that when I first met that guy, we were having like a barbecue at some reservoir, and he shows up in this like new, like, it's like this 80s like kind of like hot rod kind of thing. It's like an old Mustang or something, I can't remember.
Yeah.
And he stopped and got out, and everyone was talking to him, and he had like a beer, and then he was gonna go to leave, and he like peels out in this thing, and like rocks fly everywhere in the parking lot. And this old dude who was like living at the reservoir because they have like camping spots was like, who the fuck was that? Who the hell was that guy? I'm calling the cops. And do you know who that was? And we're like, nah, he was asking for directions.
Smart.
Well, and like we had a bunch of like NCOs there and stuff, like high ranking guys, and they were like, yeah, we don't know who that guy was. He was asking for directions. And he's like, I'm calling the cops, and he got in his like little go-kart thing and like chased off after Charlie up the hill, but he was like going like 90 up this fucking hill. I was like, he's never gonna catch that motherfucker. And the cops showed up, and they were talking to the guy, and they came over and looked at us, and I bet you the cop knew that we were military because like everybody was clean shaven and all skinny and shit, and he was like, so that guy is saying that there was an individual down here that was causing trouble, like peeling out in the gravel, and we're like, yeah, we saw him. He came down and talked to us. He was asking for directions. He was lost. He ended up down here and didn't know where he was going. And because like the reservoir where we were at, you had to go way out of town, and it was like the backside of it.
Yeah.
And it was like a popular spot. So like, it legitimately, you could get lost and like, you know, kind of not know where you were.
Yeah.
So
like
the cop was like, oh, okay. But he kind of was like grilling us a little bit, like, you know, you guys sure you don't know who that was? We're like, no, seriously, we don't know who that was. We're down here having a barbecue, and he said he was lost looking for directions. And he was like, okay. The cop just left. And I just remember talking to a guy named Cathcart was his last name, Anthony. He was like a tech sergeant at the time. And I was like, uh-oh. I was like, is Chuck gonna get in trouble? And he's like, nah. He's like, we just won't do anything about it. He's like, I'll have a talk with him on Monday, but he's like, you're not gonna get in trouble. I was like, that's fucking hilarious. Because it was just like a bunch of airmen.
Yeah.
And then like there was a couple staff sergeants with us, and then I think like one master and like a couple techs. So like, if they were all like paranoid, like fuck, goddamn, we don't deal with this shit right now. That's so funny. I'm like, I'm a fucking civilian. I don't give a shit. Ah.
Like suckers.
I know, right? Because every time something would go down, I was like, I really don't feel like nothing's like. I would get like, okay, so like if I had done something like say I like robbed a bank while Audra is in, she would have gotten in trouble too.
Yeah,
like if I had done something.
Because you're pretty much the fucking legal part.
Yeah. So like if I'd have done something, right? But like being a spouse and like not being in, and then like me not being part of like any of that, I have like no moral obligations to do anything because like I don't work with the guy. I'm not in the military. All that shit. That's why like every time we'd go party up somewhere, I'd always be the one to like fuck or like get shit done because they'd be like, well, we can't really talk shit while we're out. So we were at a bar one time and this guy was talking like mad shit, so I started talking shit for everybody. This bitch was doing it to us too. We were in town and she was trying to say she didn't like the military because they came there and fucked everything up, so I just kept poking the bee's nest and like fucking with her.
Yeah.
And finally she got all rough and rowdy and like hit one of the guys we were with. And then she called the cops, and the cops showed up, and I was like, no, that bitch hit him. He's like, wait a minute, the one that called? I was like, yeah. So she ended up getting in a citation or something for like disorderly conduct in public, like, and I don't think they got her anything else, but she was clearly fucking drunk.
Yeah.
Oh,
Look
dude.
at that, rank 2.